Empowered Living Mastery course. This is, I'm reading and giving personal commentary on a book I wrote. And this includes the personality workbook. This is a whole course that goes together. Thank you for joining us tonight, and I'm looking forward to adding some information that I think would have been good yesterday. Before I get started on that, there are links below to access the online course, to actually also do the core self-inventory, to get personal support, to join a circle on Patreon, and to join the Exiting the Matrix Facebook group. And also yesterday there was a video link that wasn't working, and so I found a different video and I put that in the description as well to help you understand like how to, like what healthy people, this is a video, it's called How Healthy People Regulate Their Emotions. And I'm going to open up this so I can see the chats. So I am not sure who is in here right now. If there is anyone in here, I can't see how many people are in. So if you want to put a number and let me know how many people are in here, that'd be awesome. So this course is really for everybody, because our educational system does not provide accurate information, and we are on week 5, so tomorrow will be like the halfway point through this course. So I encourage you to go back and watch the rest of the videos, because they're laid out in a foundational way so that you can gain more understanding as you go. I am just very passionate about making sure that future generations have this knowledge and it's in one place, because you know, throughout life you want help and you're trying to find help, and it's like all these little pieces of the puzzle are everywhere, and I'm like, nah, we're gonna put it all in one place so it's easy to like get the information. And not that, like, this is a foundation, so there's like levels to this understanding. This is a basic education, I feel, for humanity that would help so many people. Like, for example, this whole like everything really, the foundation is coming to, because I healed myself. So when I felt like I healed myself, it was because I had done a lot of inner work. I worked through all these different things. Hello! And so I put down in this course what I felt was really important, that had something to do with my healing, because I did do a lot of research and I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, plus I'm a mother of 5 children and a grandmother of 3. So I just have a lot of lived experience, and so this is a whole person education, and I'm reading the course. There's also an online version if you're interested in moving ahead, getting all the information. I'm reading the course. It's usually about maybe 10 minutes of reading, and so right now I'm just doing an introduction. But Exiting the Matrix, there's so many different levels, and people have different opinions of what that means, and so there's different perspectives. So for me, it's societal norms, but it's also leaving relationships, leaving situations, leaving jobs, anything that is out of alignment with my true self. And so I do want to say something about, there was a question posed, because I shared a video today about how, well, the comment was about how to cope. when you're dealing with someone that you love who, for any number of reasons, the relationship is strained or non-existent. And I personally am dealing with that myself right now. So I'm going to share some things about how I have coped. For example, I mean, it's a lot of crying because for me, it was someone that is really dear to me. And if I would message the person and they never responded to me, it just like broke my heart. And so I went through a bunch of different emotions of like confusion. It's really grief. It's like, I can't believe this is happening. And then sadness and anger and, you know, looking at things from different perspectives can help because understanding that there's two people. So like, I have my perspective and okay, this person isn't talking to me. I could try to force something, or I can allow and accept what they're doing and hope that someday it turns around. But in the meantime, I deserve to have peace while they're figuring their self out. So for me, I had to stop texting because it hurt me to not get a response. So why would I keep hurting myself? I need to protect myself from, even if it's not even, they're not trying to hurt me, but I'm hurting myself by like wanting something so badly. So it's attachment. We have attachments to things, people, objects. It's learning how to release attachments and you know, it's like radical acceptance. So there is a lot of crying, anger. You got to get those emotions out. And it's really important to feel your feelings, identify your feelings. There's actually a wheel of emotions. Like, you can look at it. It has like tons of different emotions on it. Actually, I'm going to find that and put that in the comments. Where is it? Oh, actually, in the video I shared, in the description, it's the last link, how healthy people regulate their emotions. It's in there. It's like, they say there's 27 emotions. So, hello? Okay. So, all of this information right now that I'm going to go over will help you cope, because it's this whole emotional core dimension and the mental core dimension and even the spiritual core dimension, like, and the personal, like, it all like comes together to help you have nervous system regulation. What is that? Nervous system regulation, I'm going to start reading now. Nervous system regulation is the practice of gently teaching the body that it is safe in the present moment. While the mind may understand this, the body often carries unresolved stress and past experiences that keep it in a state of protection. Regulation is not about forcing calm, but about creating conditions of safety through patience, presence, and care. Emotional regulation plays a vital role in this process. When emotions are ignored, suppressed, or judged, the nervous system remains on high alert. You know, you're like fear. When emotions are acknowledged, felt, and met with compassion, the body receives a powerful signal of safety. This allows emotional energy to move through rather than become stored as tension, anxiety, and overwhelm. It takes 90 seconds from the onset of an emotion to be done with. It's the thoughts that can exasperate and make it spiral. Spiral to anxiety, spiral to depression. So this whole course is really wanting to help people just be balanced, understanding emotional regulation, because it's key. It has everything to do with your frequency, your resonation. So as emotions are processed, the nervous system naturally begins to settle. Breath deepens, muscles soften, and we shift out of survival mode and into connection and clarity. Gentle practices such as mindful breathing, slow movement, stillness, and emotional awareness support this recalibration, helping the body learn that it no longer needs to brace for threat. At its core, nervous system and emotional regulation are acts of self-love. By honoring both the body and our emotional experience, we build trust within ourselves and create a foundation for lasting healing, resilience, and inner peace. So, here are some daily practices that support nervous system regulation. Grounding. Grounding for 15 minutes a day. As simple as placing your feet on the earth and allowing your body to settle. I have a whole list of grounding practices coming up, because if you're up in the north and you're dealing with snow, you might not want to do that. Sunlight exposure, 30 minutes daily without sunglasses when possible. Sunrise is the most supportive time, helping regulate your circadian rhythm. One moment. And if you're also up in the north and you're dealing with no sun, I'm from Minnesota, so I get it. I had SAD, seasonal affective disorder. All I wanted was the sun and the grass and the beach. So I'm in Florida now. But if you are in Minnesota, they do have the sun lamp. What else? Oh, take vitamin D. And look up information for how to combat SAD, because I mean, it's like Minnesota is like the North Pole, or sometimes it feels like Alaska, because there's no sun. So I feel for you. The next thing is listening to harmonic frequencies, gentle, coherent sounds that support balance and relaxation in the nervous system. So basically that means you've probably seen different videos, possibly on YouTube, where they're talking or they're showing you different numbers, frequencies. So I just learned this today, not about it, but like this has so frequency 396 hertz liberates guilt and fear. 528 frequency is DNA. It like restructures your DNA to bring you to a natural state. And this is all scientifically proven, just so you know. 639 harmonizes relationship connection. And I have a bunch of playlists on my channel, and there's one called Zen, and so I just added one. I think it's probably going to be the last one on there, but it basically goes through a number of the different frequencies that helps stabilize. Intentional breathing. So breathing in for 4 seconds, holding, and then releasing for 8 seconds. And the goal is to fully exhale to completion. You can tune into different frequencies. Yes, absolutely. And you do, regardless if you're trying. So, you breathe in, hold, so that is just a way to calm the nervous system. I just did this today because like I have like a I look like Britney Spears. I have like a toothache, and it was giving me a headache, and I was like laying out in the sun. I did all of this today. I was like putting my feet on the dirt. I wasn't up at sunrise. That never happens. But I laid in the sun and listened to different frequency music. Thank you. And did breathing exercises. So, this is from Quantum Nexus. This is a different channel. Quantum Nexus is like a spiritual channel that's like super more like this is basic, and then there are probably a few levels, and then there's Quantum Nexus. But inner work, this is what they talked about, that you are a garden. And so the inner work, like when you're dealing with, you know, someone not talking to you or a relationship not being resolved, you're clearing the soil by processing, accepting, like feeling your feelings, thinking whatever you're thinking, and then basically coming to acceptance of, okay, this is, you know, this is what it is in the moment. And then learning is like all of this whole course, planting seeds, because guess what? We all need reminders, and that's really what this is. All of us are reminded of who we are, who we were, who we're supposed to be. We all get gentle reminders when we're open to learning. Just by being here, you're being open to learning another perspective. And so that's planting seeds. Okay? Grounding practices are watering the soil. So every day, having a daily practice like those that I just said, grounding, sunlight, music, intentional breathing, those are all how you water the soil. And then old patterns will resurface, or new things will emerge, and those are the weeds. So notice them without judgment. So there's a term, it's called observe, and the observing is literally just that. There's no emotional attachment, just seeing, letting emotions flow through you. Like I said, it takes 90 seconds for an emotion to flow through you if you just allow. If you get stuck, then that's when it gets messy. That's when it keeps you stuck. Hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. So the old patterns, again, are resurfacing weeds. Okay? Or old patterns resurfacing are weeds. So notice them without judgment. As they arise, gently say, I am no longer you. I choose flow. It takes time to forget an ex. I have just got over that myself. So, grounding practices. Here are a few grounding practices. You can go hug a tree, okay? That is a real thing. But you can also take slow, deep breathing with extended exhales. Placing your feet firmly on the floor and noticing physical contact. Naming 5 things you can see, 4 you can feel, 3 you can hear. Gentle stretching or slow mindful movement. Anything that makes your body feel at ease. Gentle stretching. Resting a hand on your heart. Every time I did any meditations to process like the negative traumatic things that have happened to me, I feel on my body where I'm having pain. So for a long time I had pain on my heart. So I'd hold my heart while I was meditating. Sometimes it's my stomach. So listen to your body. Your body will tell you. Walking barefoot on the grass, sand, or earth. Feeling the texture of an object. You know, crystals. Like, that's why, like, you know, people get into rocks and crystals. This is the earth. So connecting with the earth. The earth has good energy that you can tap into. Drinking water slowly and intentionally. Listening to calming music or natural sounds. Humming or singing or toning. I love to sing and dance. Noticing the temperature. Noticing the temperature of the air on your skin. Holding something warm like a mug or a heating pad. Bringing attention to your breath entering and leaving the body. Sitting or lying down and allowing the body to be supported. Offering yourself reassuring inner words of affirmations. Surrendering to the present moment. Releasing the need to fix, control, or push. So those are all good ways to bring yourself back to center. Because all of us are going to experience trauma, okay, in this world. All of us. So, hello. So, how are we going to deal with it? Without knowledge, I fell into a major depression. I didn't want to get out of bed. And I used to yell at my kids if they woke me up. Because I didn't want to wake up. That's real. And so, if I had this knowledge that I've gained, like for now, that is never happening to me, ever again. I understand how it happened. How I allowed my thoughts to just run away. Or get so sad about something, you know, and just to process your emotions is like, it is hard. It's not easy, especially when someone has hurt you, okay? Beat you up, told you you're crap, you know, just, there's so many things that that happen to people. And so how we respond, how we react, and what we're doing in our mind has everything to do with how much it's going to affect you. And like, I went over the grieving process yesterday or Monday, I can't remember. But, hello. But it is so important to understand all of these concepts and practicing. Like, that's literally what we're all doing. We're practicing, we're learning. And I've said this throughout this course, is that you don't compare yourself to anybody else. Because nobody has had the same experience as you. No one knows what you know. We all are at different levels of understanding and perspective. No one's better than anybody else. This is a foundation for love. Like, understanding that people, we all just need to love each other. Thank you, Raymond. All right, I'm going to read the emotional core exploration. And then the next part is the emotional validation. No, wait. Breaking free emotionally. Okay? It's only a few pages. As you read the list of words, ponder your viewpoint of each word. Look up words in multiple dictionaries or search the internet for clarity. For example, for the word acceptance, I typed, "How does acceptance help me emotionally?" and found an article called "The Irony of Acceptance." It goes into depth on how accepting unwanted emotions makes you feel better. Because when you accept the emotions, when you accept what someone's done to you, you can release it. If you're fighting it, if you're stuck in sadness, if you're stuck in disbelief, or you're stuck in depression because these things happened, you cannot accept it, therefore you cannot move forward. Really. And I've been saying this too, is that there's trains of, like, the older you get, how many boxcars are on your train of unresolved traumas that you never dealt with. Boom, 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 boom. And it's just like growing. And so that's one reason why I wrote my autobiography, because I wanted to go back to the beginning, and I wanted to go through everything to heal everything. Alright, so emotional core dimension. Here are some words you can look up. We have talked about a lot of these in this course, this chapter. Mindfulness, balance, triggers, processing, powerful, resonance, emotional trains, masculinity, emotional quotient, transmute. And that's what I'm talking about, transmuting. I want to talk about the process of the emotions. Valid, feelings, stress, empathy, apathy, femininity, sensations, reactions, acceptance, grief, passive aggression, sympathy, compassion, positive, negative, empathy. Write about your experience and conclusions about words that stand out to you in this list. How does each word relate to you? What is your worldview of those words? It is vital to embrace the fact that people are different. All of us. You know, we all have our own fingerprint. It's really that simple. There are no two identical people, and you will never be duplicated. That's how important you are. So, I am not looking at the chats right now until I'm done reading, which is only a few more pages. And I don't want to be hit on. Okay? Thank you. So, it is vital to embrace the fact that people are different. We each have our interests, beliefs, likes, dislikes, abilities. You are the only you there will ever be. Embracing your uniqueness can help you accept others as they are and where they're at, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in every way. Write words. So here's a dictionary exercise. Write words and concepts you come across in your research that you would like to learn more about. I'm very, strongly encouraging you to be a lifelong learner. They've been saying, oh, you only use 10% of your brain. That is a lie. Your brain is a massive computer, and you can exit the matrix just by that one fact. Understanding that your brain can do amazing things. I used to think I had a learning disability, and if I would have got sucked into the mentality of society, because they like to label people, does this look like I have a learning disability? I don't. because I actually worked my brain enough, because that's the key. I got into this in the last chapter last week. Your brain is so powerful, but it's a muscle and you need to work it. So look up words in the dictionary. It's so simple. We have our phones. Hey Siri, what does blah 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 mean? And it'll look it up. You don't even have to have a book anymore. So even if you think you know a word, I would still look up a word. Like, someone's like, oh, do you know what that means? And I'm like, I think it means this, but I'm gonna verify. And then I read it and I'm like, okay, yeah. But there was something else along with it that I forgot or something, or maybe never was taught. So it's really being open-minded and just being able to like accept where you're at and grow at your own pace without comparing yourself to anybody else. So this will help you identify aha moments and takeaways while you're doing this exercise. Assessments and resources. Assessments can offer insight into different perspectives of your true self. However, it's up to you if you agree or disagree with the results. At the least, they can open your mind to alternative perspectives you hadn't thought of. Researching these can help you identify aspects within yourself that you would like to modify, adapt, or remove from your current way of being or mindset. The following links include assessments and ideas for personal investigation. Thank you. Much love. So there is it's called EQ, which is emotional quotient. And I'm trying to grab this link, and there it is. You can take an emotional quotient quiz. It basically, I'm putting it in the comments, it basically does a great job of like helping you understand what emotional intelligence is. So another thing you can do is you can watch The Secret, a documentary on Netflix, or pick up a copy of the book at your local bookstore or library. They do an awesome job explaining the vibrational frequency of emotions and how they impact what you get out of life. The documentary helps you see how you can manifest what you want in your life by using the law of attraction. So since then, I'm learning now that this also involves the nervous system regulation. And so when you're centered and you're coherent, spiritually coherent, emotionally coherent, that is when you're more in line with synchronicity. And I could tell you, I wrote a course on, it's called Making Dreams a Reality. There's a bunch of videos in here that I shared. But there's missing pieces to the puzzle because I've manifested a lot of things and that I tried to do and get and experience, but I've also not. So I'm still working on some of these things. So this isn't about becoming perfect. This is really about being your true self. Because people can be like so positive all the time, and I was there. But I'm just going to be positive. If you don't deal with the inner stuff, it's still not nervous system. Whatever you're thinking, okay? If your body isn't resonating, this is where the manifesting comes from. When you learn how to regulate your nervous system to match the frequency of whatever you're trying to achieve. It is imperative to be able to recognize our emotions and feelings. Look at this extensive list of emotions. How aware are you of all these emotions? How many of them have you felt? Check out the extensive list here. I'm going to also put this in the comments, and I'm going to verify these work. I haven't really been like going through the book before each session because it's fine. I'm just going through it and like figuring out what needs to be fixed. This is actually open up for like, this is a conversation for humanity. Hey, here's my perspective. What's yours? Do you have anything to add to help others? How about future generations? Anything, right? Next, the dialectical behavioral therapy is great at teaching how to identify and process emotions. This is a great resource for anyone struggling with being mindful or having emotional difficulties. I know people who say they can't meditate, so that DBT would help with that as well. See the download for any other resource for emotional regulation. And I'll put this link in here too. I suppose I should put the whole thing. What? It's not letting me? That's weird. Oh, because I have too many. That's hilarious. They only let you do so many characters. Whatevs. Okay. So, this is a resource I'm putting in here. Check it out. There. Okay, so the next section is called Breaking Free Emotionally. I'm just going to check on the comments. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Trust me, I've been on the dating app and it sucks. Okay, breaking free emotionally. It is important to realize that emotional balance is not automatically taught in homes, at school, or even in church. So it is your responsibility to learn everything that is involved in maintaining balanced emotions. Emotions are the crux of life. Without them, we would be robots. They help us to identify what is out of alignment with our true self. When we do not know how to deal with our feelings in our bodies due to emotions, we can get overwhelmed, begin to self-criticize, and develop problems in our lives, like having an addiction. You can get addicted to depression. When this happens, we find ways to avoid our emotions when that is the exact opposite of what we need to do. Going in and sorting through our feelings and the thoughts that are tied to them is necessary for the grieving process. Spiraling toward depression and anxiety is often the result of not dealing with our pain. Yeah, medication. Have you seen the commercials for medication? And in fact, I was on medication. I had major depression, and they put me on Wellbutrin. And they kept upping my dose, and it went up to 350 milligrams. And basically, I had a grand mal seizure. I'm on a school, I was on my son's field trip as someone to help. So I was like in charge of 3 little kids, and I had a grand mal seizure. I was too hot. It was like, and then the lights. There was some exhibit, and the lights. So they're trying to say, oh, you're allergic. No, it's actually a side effect. And there's actually been studies that show there's no proof that serotonin uptake inhibitors actually work. And there are actually things you can do that have nothing to do with medication or drugs to raise your vibration to the same level, to like even higher levels as if you were on acid. Okay? DMT is actually a natural, we have DMT, and you can tap into it in your brain when you learn how. Just so you know. Thank you. So, when we do not know how to deal with our feelings and our okay, self-criticize. Okay, I already said that. All right, self-care. Do this. Feeling your feelings fully will help you get to the root of them. I'm just gonna stop to see where they stem from. So, when I was healing myself, I literally reenacted in my mind whatever happened and went through it all over again to face it and then breathe through it. Emotions last 90 seconds. Release. Okay? You may have to repeat that. But that is literally how you get it out of you. One way. I mean, I dance too. So when I dance, I'm like, I have a light whip. And so that's one of my ways of like just releasing a bunch of whatever energy I don't want to get back to balance. So facing your feelings will most likely trigger trains. And this is, I'm just going to put this in here again. If you have a diagnosis, you have a therapist, you have suicidal ideation, you have cutting things, like anything. This information can help you, but I want you to find somebody who is there for you while you're doing it, who can guide you, support you if you need help. So you are your best advocate, okay? All I want for people is to heal themselves, raise their vibration. That's my goal, okay? To live fully in a happy state of mind. It's possible. And so, please, get support if you need it. So, facing your feelings will most likely trigger trains that stem from past traumas. This process is different for everyone. It depends on how well you think you can process your emotions. When you're ready to face yourself fully, you will be able to accept your emotions for what they are and transmute, or better, dissipate, I like that word, negative energy so you can resolve them and let them go. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no worries for the rest of my days. Doesn't mean life is perfect, but so first, it is wise to write a list of things that you know are bothering you and want to address. It's the ones with the nagging thoughts that would be important to investigate. So when I would go to sleep at night, I would lay there and I'd be like, what's popping up? What is bothering me so much that I have to think about it? Okay. So I would face it. Okay, what do you want to show me? Go ahead. And feel it, feel through it, and then release it. So I would just keep doing that every night when I would go to bed. So Go at your own pace, and if you have major depression or suicidal thoughts, it would be wise to either speak to your therapist or at least a good friend who will be there for support. Emotional experts can completely dissipate negative emotions because they no longer have any power over them. You can become an expert in emotional balance if you practice daily and are true to yourself and others in your life. It is also very important to understand the process of grieving, as it will help you deal with every kind of loss. You can find more information online through personal study, and here is the place you can start if you need more assistance. So this video is, actually this is an article. Where'd it go? I'm good. It's kind of warm in here. So this is from BetterHelp, Understanding the Stages of Grief. I did go over that yesterday, but here's another resource. So, journal. Spend time journaling about your emotional health. Write down a list of positive and negative thoughts and emotions that you feel regularly. Write another list of emotions you would like to feel. What do you feel gratitude for? Gratitude is extremely powerful. Feel the gratitude in your body. You can think of a memory, something someone did for you, a person, air you're breathing. It could be that simple. This exercise helps you raise your energy vibration, your frequency. Practicing gratitude can change your life. So, there's a lot of information I just packed into 47 minutes. So, yes, exercise helps, because another part of trauma, like we hold trauma in our fascia, and the fascia is the connective tissue between the muscle and the bones. And so, are you feeling stiff? Well, you may have a trauma, and it doesn't mean it's a physical trauma. Even psychological traumas are stored in the body. So, so it's really listening to your body and seeing what you need to do to heal, your body, to release whatever tension is in your joints. I'm a fit freak person too. I would say the more, are you stretching? Because the longer you don't stretch, the longer it's going to take for you to undo it. So it's so important to stretch and exercise. So, as much as possible. In fact, now that the more time that you're spending actually doing things to help yourself, to help your body, so exercise, eating good, healthy food, skincare, all the self-help activities, self-care activities, the more you're doing that, the less you're dwelling on all the stuff. And I think that's, so for me, I always was so proud of myself because I felt all my feelings, and I was so deep. I felt my feelings so deeply. So and I felt like that was being true to myself, and it is. However, because we're not taught emotional regulation, right now we have people going to work, right? I don't subscribe to the whole social system. But you I'm imagining. I have worked full time, but going out, going to work for 8 hours, putting on a face, or not, because you can meet people who are just really gloomy at work. But people who don't face themselves at night, they don't take the time. Anyway, that was going in the, does weed count to self-help, or is it a coping technique? I think that's a personal decision. I smoke pot, but I'm not a wake and bake. I use it I like sativa. So when I go to sleep, it's like, it's spiritual for me. Some people do it for pain. I think the question is, why are you doing it? Are you? And weed really isn't. You just being lazy. But see, people, they try to say people that smoke pot are lazy, and it's like, do I look lazy to you? Yeah, I personally don't like smoking pot all the time because I need my brain. I like, I'm, what are you using your brain for? If you're not using your brain to learn, then yeah, it could be a coping mechanism because life is dull, or what? I need to work out more, but why do you say your brain sucks? So, I am not working at the moment. Uh, I've been trying to apply for jobs, and I have, I'm a professional mover, but I don't want to do that anymore. It's not, it's very exhausting. I pack homes, and I don't want to do it anymore. And they actually, I've literally had 3 days of work since November. So winter, there's nothing. In the summer, I could have 3 days a week. But this is what I really want to do. What I'm doing on here is being a source of comfort and accurate knowledge of the healing process, because I believe, or I prefer a better world, and we're all part of that. So the psychological industry, I have a bachelor degree in psychology, and I did not get a master's for the reason that it's pretty much, it's broken. The whole system is broken. I went to therapy. They didn't teach me how to heal myself. So I healed myself after I graduated. Welcome. Yes. So the psychological industry, like, for example, they have to put something down. Like, if you go to therapy, what are they going to do? Here, take this drug. That's their answer. They need people to come back. Okay? So I just don't buy into, and now they keep coming up with all kinds of terms and blah, blah, blah. How about just teach people how to heal? Because it's possible. I healed myself. Like, oh, yes, I do. So I've been through a lot of stuff. What sent me overboard was having a stillborn and not knowing how to process my emotions while being married to a narcissistic Jehovah's Witness who told me to call him Lord, jokingly. But that's his mentality. So, while having 5 children and going to school for psychology. Thank you. That was the most horrendous thing that's ever happened to me. And it's the whole story. Like, it's just how the medical industry, like, I've exited many matrices, so I don't believe in the medical industry. They're good at, like, oh, you need surgery if you actually need it, because literally in 2009, I had pain one time. I went to the doctor. He's like, oh, you need to have your gallbladder removed. An emergency. And I trusted doctors then. And so basically, I don't have a gallbladder. And that doctor actually said out of his mouth that he didn't even know what a gallbladder was for. This is 2009. Okay, they knew what gallbladders were for. So basically, yeah. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy analyst. Because I don't make that shit up. I mean, just the psychological industry. You come to therapy. They're going to give you a little bit. You have to keep coming back. They're going to label you. And now you have a stigma that you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life, because that's how it's all designed, to make you think that you are that, whatever they decide. My friend just got diagnosed with, she has change disorder now. This is a thing. Give me a break. I love you. But if you don't know how to transition, if you're how long does it take you to, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Transition. I can't think of the word. But basically, you have to, you're going to, like, totally lost my train of thought. I think I might be getting thirsty. Just a moment. Ooh. And now my lights went out. I'm still trying to think of the word. Oh man, that story. He never got remarried. Everybody in my family, my kids, all were like, he's waiting for you to come back to him. It's never going to happen. He thinks he's God. And he has issues. And it's kind of funny, the other night I had a dream that I gave him a hug and said, it's going to be okay. So, he has issues. Any more questions? Yep. I don't don't hate him. It took a long time to, like because we were Jehovah's Witnesses, which I am no longer. But he like shoved the Bible down my throat so much, like like how he was. And by the end of the marriage, I just couldn't even read the Bible because I could hear his voice. I'm just like, ugh. So I had to work through all of that to release his everything about him. You have so many questions. Nice. All right. Well, have a blessed night. Well, there are reasons you can get divorced in the Bible. Which adultery is one. Or death. And I couldn't take it in that marriage. I had to get out. So, many blessings. So I just want to remind everyone that there's a bunch of links below that you can do this core self-inventory, which is the foundation for this course. And remember, we're on week 5. So tomorrow I'll be reading the assignments, and then there will be 6 more weeks. So if you haven't, go back to the beginning. Each video is maybe half an hour to an hour. And you can always, fast forward me or the video. And then there's the online course that you can join for free. And there's an inner circle you can join, a sacred circle for women and men, and you can get personalized support from me on Patreon, or no, that one's just on my website. And then there's an Exiting the Matrix Facebook group that you can join. I share stuff on there all the time. I'm very active on Facebook. So, facebook.com, and it's Ayla's Love, AYLASLOVE. And then just like to, and if you'd like to support my mission, there's a place in the description link to donate to help me out. And remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and also share with people you know who might benefit from this information. And I just want to give everybody a hug. I know that there's things going on, and I'm seeing what's going on in Minnesota. They're starting to walk the streets and sing to the ICE agents. And I think that is awesome. Just like the monks who have been walking across the country. I'm not sure if they are done yet, but they have been doing a peace demonstration because love is the answer, period. Have a blessed night. Much love. Okay, this is not working.